Alrighty, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. I am standing up today. Wow. Today we are going to be talking about Alexandra Rodriguez, who recently put up a video talking all about what she feels was fat discrimination because of her size, talking about health insurance, talking about life insurance, and it's a very interesting, I have some thoughts. It's a very interesting videos with some very good points, things that I agree with, things that I disagree with. Let's get into it.
Fat girl's about to go on a rant. Cue the keyboard warriors. But you know what, guys? I literally just don't even care. Like, I just need to talk about this because I just had an experience that is... I am irked. I am irked. And I shared it with my close friends on Instagram, and I got so many DMs of my fellow plus size friends who have been through the same thing. So it needs to be talked about. If you watch me, it is no secret I'm a plus size girl. I am chunky and funky, fat girl, whatever. And I have actually shared in the past a few times now of being discriminated against because of my size, having stigmas thrown at me because of my weight.
So, I mean, this is obviously something that does happen, right? I would be remiss to be like, no one gets discriminated against because of their size. It absolutely happens, and there are certain times when it's definitely wrong. I think there are certain times, this might be a hot take, but there are certain times when discrimination like makes sense. Not that it's like a good feeling, but like, you know, when you go to the amusement parks, right, and you try and sit into one of the rides and you don't fit, like, they could just be like, you know what, we won't make the thing click down, and then that's, you know, a big deal, right? So like sometimes it's like discrimination, I feel like, is always seen as like a bad word in a negative light, but sometimes it's like sometimes discrimination has to happen so everyone is safe, right? But
it's my daily life on the internet, but it's happened to me in person as well. So here's the experience that I just had. So I recently decided to apply for life insurance, you know, big deal. So I went through like this third-party place that like will match you with insurances, like cool. That way it's kind of like a little shopping marketplace situation. So I fill it all out online. They call me and they're like, okay, so the lowest price option, because I'm like, yeah, I want the lowest price for what I'm looking for with the life insurance. What's my best option? And they're like, okay, so it'll be this one. That's the lowest. And I'm like, oh, all right, already that's higher than expected. But you know, I already know it's gonna be a little high because I am plus size. I am overweight. But you know what? Cool, whatever.
I think it's one of those things that they're definitely, like, I think that people that are overweight should be able to get life insurance. 100%. I think that is, it would be weird if someone, in my opinion, said that they shouldn't be able to, right? But at the same time, I think if it costs more because you're overweight, I think that that's a totally normal thing. If we're talking about like car insurance and you've had like a few accidents, you'd be like, it's not fair that I have to pay more. Or you're super young. It sucks, right? You're super young, but you have to pay more for insurance. It sucks. But at the same time, if we look at the statistics, young people get into a lot of accidents. So your rate's going to be a little bit more expensive, right? Unless you go to, you know, one of those really ghetto insurance places that you just have insurance to say you have it. But if you get into a wreck, the chances of you actually getting any help is pretty much zero because you're paying $20 a month for insurance, right? And so, but there are reasons, and I don't think that is, and at least she understands that and she acknowledges that, like, hey, I'm not super mad about the fact that it's going to be a little bit more expensive because I am more overweight. But at the same time, I can understand being frustrated because she has lost over 100 pounds recently, right? And so, you know, it's tough, man. This is one of those situations that it is hard.
So I'm like, okay, like, let's move forward. So this guy then proceeds to ask me like 1,000,001 questions, which is exactly what I expect. It takes about like 15 to 20 minutes. It's a lot of health questions, you know, checking in on my background, like just asking me all about my health. And like, not to toot my own horn, but your girl has really solid health. I had gastric bypass last year. I've lost 110 pounds. Granted, I am still curvy, but I have recently lost a lot of weight. I have really great health history in my family. My blood work is fantastic. My cholesterol is fantastic. My blood pressure. I work out. I try to take really good care of myself, especially since my surgery that was a whole year ago. And even one of the...
So I'm not going to sit here and like say, oh, this is true, this isn't true. I don't really know all that stuff. But the same time, I think a lot of us, we take things very personally, right? When things don't go our way. And the fact of the matter is, I mean, spoiler, she ends up not being able to get insured. Right? I think that's pretty clear by the reason this video is made. And so we take it personally, but like a lot of times if you think about it, like say there's just a number, they say over this BMI, it doesn't matter how healthy you are, we just don't insure people over that size. Am I saying that that is right? No. But do I think that it warrants making an entire video? I don't know. That's going to be up to the person, but it's just one of those things that, like, I think we as people, we think of like everything is very important to me and it feels like it's an attack on me, when in reality, this is a corporation that's trying to make money. They don't care. They see a number, BMI is higher than that. Sorry, we're not going to insure you, right? It sucks, but the thing that is good about capitalism is that there are always a lot of options. So I assume that there will be another place that will absolutely insure you. I was talking to my producer, Rachel, who is, you know, she's curvy as well. She wouldn't mind me saying that, I hope, at least. But she was saying that she, you know, when she was at her highest weight, which was, you know, pretty up there, and she was able to get insured. So it's not impossible to get insured if you are overweight. And there are people, yeah, she's in the chat right now. She said she was 465 pounds at her heaviest, right? And she was able to get insurance. So it's not like it's impossible. She lost 175 pounds. W's in the chat for Rachel. But it's not impossible, obviously, to get insured if you are heavier, right? And the other thing that I think is important is how much is this policy for, right? If you're trying to get insured for a policy that's $1 million or whatever, right? There are probably going to be more strict guidelines and stipulations versus getting a policy that's for $100,000, say, right? And so, again, all of those things kind of matter, and I think that it would have been helpful if that was maybe brought up, but again, there are obviously other companies that would insure. Like, I would really be surprised if no company would, and I think if that was the case, there would be more to it, right?
Questions in the survey is like, have you recently in the last few months lost more than 20 pounds? And I'm like, yes, lost a lot of weight recently. So, you know, granted, I'm like, that should, I don't know, help. I don't know. Even so, the problem is, we'll get to what the problem is. So he takes all of my information and he's like, all right, we're sending off your application, should be Gucci. You'll get like a letter in the mail with all your info, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, cool. So it's been a few weeks and I just got a letter in the mail this morning. Your application has been denied due to the following reasons, : one word, build.
I will say that's gnarly. Like, that is that is gnarly. I'm just laughing at the fact that that's literally it just says it's just built different, you know. Sorry, someone in my chat wrote that. But that is kind of comical.
Okay. So there's so much to unpack here, let alone you just denying me for my build, when literally that's you just saying to me, you are too fat. Do you have diabetes? Do you have high cholesterol? Do you have a family history of XYZ? Nope. You're just too fat. Honestly, I was fully expecting, because, I'm sorry, my dog's chewing a toy if you can hear it behind me. I am sorry. I was even expecting, because of my weight, I was like, I know they're gonna wanna probably do a physical and a blood test, and they're gonna wanna see all this stuff, my blood pressure, whatever. I'm like, that's fine with me because I know those things are good. I've had a physical recently, like I know I am great. I have constant doctor's appointments since my surgery last year. So like I was expecting that fully. I was expecting to receive like a follow-up of like, hey, sorry, we're gonna need you to do a physical, whatever. I even gave them such a benefit of the doubt of like, we're gonna actually need to raise your price a little bit just because you're fat. Because I'm already so used to everything just being a little bit of an obstacle, being overweight. So I expected already those two obstacles, but nope, you are denied because of your build.
It's rough. Like I can fully understand seeing that and being taken aback. Like I would feel a certain way too, 100%. But at the same time, right? again, this is just the fact of the matter, right? We're talking about a company that wants to make money, period, right? I don't know what the company is, but they want to make money. They do not want to not make money. Their whole point is to make money. And when we're talking about obesity, the fact of the matter is, regardless of what people might say, if you look at the numbers, people that are very large, I'm not saying that Alex is very large, but right, we're talking about people that are obese, the chances of them having issues are higher than someone that's not, right? And so, again, we're talking about a company. This is not a person. This is not a friend of yours. This is not a, this is a company that all they care about is to make money, period, point blank, period. And so, again, it sucks, but like at the end of the day, I'm sure there is a company out there that would be willing to insure, right? And again, there's a lot of information that maybe we don't know that could help, because maybe it was for a large amount, and maybe they can't do that amount. Maybe they do less. I don't know, right? There's a lot of information that's missing here that could maybe help the situation, help us understand a little bit more. But again, it would suck to see that, like 100%, 100%.
Ow! And this is just, I already know I'm gonna get so much hate from all the people out there. Well, what do you expect from life insurance? You're overweight, that comes with a million different health risks. First of all, I know you're gonna comment, whatever, just do it and have a great friggin' time. The bottom line is health and weight are not the same.
They're not the same, yeah, but there are. To act like there's no correlation, you don't even believe that, right? It doesn't even seem like you believe that, because if you didn't believe that, why would you get weight loss surgery? If you didn't believe that, why would you have lost 110 pounds? If you didn't believe that there was no correlation, what is the point of going through all of this? If you didn't believe there was no correlation, why would you expect them to raise the price? If you didn't believe there was no, come on, of course there's at least something, it's related in some way. I'm not saying that means it's okay that no one that's, overweight can get insured. I'm not making that claim, but I just don't understand how going all the way to there's no correlation, nothing, come on.
Be healthy at a bigger size. There is no number on the scale that equals health. I have friends who are...
Yeah, there's no number, but at the same time, again, this is a company that they don't know who you are as a person. They don't know what you're going through. And so they are going to look at the number. That's it, right? Again, I'm not saying that that's a right thing to do, but I think that this is maybe taking it a little bit too personally and feeling like it was like this company is like a person saying you are too fat and we don't work with fat people. That's not what's happening here, right? It's a company that says number, oh no, moving on, right? Again, and there's other options out there. But again, to say that there's no correlation, that's it. In my opinion, it seems like you don't even believe that, because you got a weight loss surgery, which is dangerous, right? Which has a lot of risks. And so you decided that those risks were worth going under the knife for, so you would lose this weight. If you didn't think that there was any reason for you to lose the weight, why would you go through that risk? Why would you go through that, right? And so I just don't understand. It seems like you kind of want your cake and eat it too. It seems like clearly there was a reason why you got the surgery, right? And so, but now you're saying there's no correlation, no relation at all. Come on.
Are overweight and unhealthy. I have friends who are overweight and super healthy. I have skinny friends that are super unhealthy. I have skinny friends that are healthy. Your body size does not equate to your health. There are so many.
It's not the only thing, yes, but it is part of it. This is where I just disagree with health at every size, right? It's going too far. I think, again, what you said, there are skinny people, super unhealthy. Yes, 100%. There are overweight people that are healthy. Yes, 100%. But when we are talking, to say that there's nothing, come on. There's too much of either way. Too skinny, too big, those things exist. And to say that they don't is living in la la land. That's just not real, right?
different factors, and we have to stop slapping this label of unhealthy, lazy, sloppy, whatever on fat people. It's not right. It's not okay.
So it said build, right, on the email. It didn't say lazy, sloppy, dirty. It didn't say any of those. It said you're built different, right? That's all it said on the email. Again, I understand like being hurt and taking it personally, but that's not what was said here. And so it seems like there's definitely something else kind of going on that is maybe influencing this, maybe the way that you feel, which again, that's totally understandable and I get it, right? But I don't know.
And honestly, I am like disgusted. And the reason I want to share this and talk about it is to bring awareness to it, is to talk about it, not be ashamed of it, because I'm sick of fat people getting the short end of the stick. I'm just sick of it. And I had people messaging me saying all these similar things of like, actually, you know what? It was funny because a lot of my friends were able to get the life insurance by, completing a physical, or they had to pay extra, exactly what I was expecting. But to just be like, nah, you're fat, bye.
Exactly. Like this company, with all due respect, fuck them. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, next. You have that option, right? You're not beholden to this one company. Like you have no other options. You have other options. That company's not for you. Good. You probably didn't want to work with them anyways, right? There you go.
I was just kind of baffled. I really was. And the older I get and the more like shit I go through, the more I'm like, people deserve to be stood up for and talked to. If you had any other legitimate reason for denying me of life insurance when I'm just trying to give you my hard-earned money here, just trying to pay you, but no, you are discriminating against me because of my weight and assuming that I am unhealthy, even though under my doctor's standard, I am living super healthily. You didn't try to check my blood work. You didn't try to check me at a physical. You didn't even hear the fact that I have a great family health history. It's just simple discrimination against my size. So I just want you to know, if you have been through this as well, you are not alone. If you have been discriminated against recently because of your size, you are not alone. I stand with you. I hear you. It is frustrating. We have to talk about these things and bring awareness to them and honestly call people out until behavior is changed.
This isn't a person. This is a company. There's a difference. Like if someone is walking around and like, look at this fatty, then yeah, that person's an asshole, right? But this is not, this is a company that does life insurance, and we know that being really, really overweight is a problem, and that is going to, the life expectancy is going to be shorter, and I understand being upset. I understand being hurt even. I would have been hurt, but I would absolutely not have made an entire video about the situation. I don't understand, like, okay, are you going to do something about it? Are you going to sue this company? Are you going to take it any further? Or are you just going to make this video and say, hey, look what happened to me? Isn't that crazy? Like, I don't really understand what the reason for it was. And again, it just feels like I'm going to have my cake and eat it too. Like, oh, I need to get this weight loss surgery because, I want to lose weight. But also, how could they discriminate on people that are overweight and have an issue with someone saying that you can't be healthy and overweight? It's like, then why did you, if you think it's totally fine and there's no issues and there's no correlation and nothing is related, why would you go through a serious surgery that can have complications and have downsides? It doesn't make any sense, right? Obviously, there is a part of you that believes, hey, I needed to lose this weight. This was important for me, right? That's the way I see it. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. This video is obviously over. Am I wrong? Do you disagree? Do you agree? What do you think? Let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching. If you're ever bored, come hang out with us on Twitch. I'm live every single Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. All right. Peace out.